Hello guys, so today has not been the best of days. In fact, the last few days have not been the best of days. As I am filming this, a lot of the Black Lives Matter protests are still going, which obviously is great. And I hope that by the time this video goes up, it'll still be going because it's something that can't just stop, like it has to keep going. But I have been seeing so many videos, especially on Twitter, and just news reports and things to the point where it's just become overwhelming. And at first I thought, oh, I keep seeing posts about, oh, if people are affected by this. And ignorantly I was like, oh, why would you get affected by this? Like, yes, it's hard, but it's good. But my goodness, is it intense. And I think I've just been consuming so much from the media, on top of another thing that's going on right now, which is very irrelevant, but it's just also playing on my mind. That has meant I've stayed up even later in the nights, and I've spent the days feeling like this heaviness in the back of my head that I just need to clear out. And that's fine, it's normal. These things happen, and obviously when we're living in a time such as now, people are bound to just be feeling things. I have so much I want to talk about, but I just can't figure out the right words for it all. I think one of the biggest problems I've had with this whole Black rights movement that's currently going on, which I cannot stress enough is excellent, but it's that I haven't really had the opportunity to speak to anyone about it. Because we are still all locked up, and whilst my parents care, they don't quite have the same media consumption of it. And very luckily last night, I spoke for about 20 minutes to some friends about it all, and it just sort of happened. It wasn't meant to happen, but it did. And it felt so good to just be able to talk about it with people who felt the same way, who cared just as much. Because we all feel in the same boat. We all feel like we're aware of how uneducated we are and we want to help, but we just feel so... I can't think of the word, but when you're like useless. Like we're trapped, we can't do anything, but we must do something. So there's that, which just doesn't make things any easier to know, or at least to feel like we can't do anything. Because that's the worst kind of thing about it all, right? Like there's so much we need to change and we feel so powerless. That being said, I had a really long talk with my mum about the various things that have just been going on in my life that I feel overwhelmed by. And even though it's hard and even though it hurts, it felt so good to be able to talk about it. So I urge you, if you're watching this and you're feeling a similar way, or like there's just so much going on, find someone to talk about it to, because you can't keep it bottled up. I've been keeping it bottled up for a couple of days and it's just eating at me. So please find someone to talk to if you feel the same way. Anyway, I just wanted to do a little check-in video and tell you guys how I feel. We're all gonna be fine. We're all gonna survive. The other thing is that 2020 just feels like the most ridiculous year. Every day you think, it cannot get any worse than yesterday, and every single day it manages to the point where I'm laughing about it. I just can't believe how ridiculous this is, and I can't wait for the history books, because I saw a picture actually of like students who have to study 2020 each week is gonna be a new thing. Like I found it hard enough to learn about the Russian Revolution because there was just so much going on all the time. 2020 alone is gonna have so many components. Like even just 1 month. You could study March 2020 for years. And it almost, in a sickening way, makes me intrigued as to what July is going to bring. Because I just feel like it cannot get any worse. And yet I know somehow 2020 will manage to make it worse. On that positive note, I'm gonna end this video. So I'm sorry for it being quite a negative video, but just speak to someone if you feel like you have to, because that is the most important thing, to look after ourselves, as well as obviously everyone else. Okay, bye.